to get that animation to work?
100%. It took me, I want to say somewhere between, I spent a whole day on it. It was like 6 hours just to get that. No, it gets better. Here's the story. So we're talking about the Rocket Punch show tag that comes at the end of our intro video there. So I spent 6 hours getting that to work, 6 to 8 hours one day, a Saturday, and then got everything working, moved it over, didn't work.
Did you do it in Resolve?
DaVinci?
Yeah.
Infusion?
Yeah.
Got it working. For some reason, it didn't import or carry over, and I thought I had lost it.
Oh, no.
And so I had to spend another 3 to 4 hours to get it done again. I was very upset about that tag. So I hope everyone who's out there is watching enjoys that tag very, very, very much.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay? It's just okay?
I mean, if you'd put 12 hours into it, it would have been good.
Yeah, probably. You're probably right. Right.
Come on, Cam.
You're probably right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Rocket Punch Show, Episode 5. I am Cameron, one of your usual hosts. I have an unusual host who's not normally here, Steven, a.k.a. Sanderspool.
Yes.
We have Will's out bowling with his cousin.
You're just going to put him on blast. I thought you were going to be like, Will's got very important things he's got to handle. And you're just like, nah, he's bowling.
No, look, this is Rocket Punch. Do you seriously think that we have important stuff to handle here?
Does he know that I'm here doing this?
I don't think he knows that you're here specifically. I just said that I would get someone to actually fill in for him tonight.
Now I got to worry about a beard and some glasses with like an M4 walking up my driveway because you've cheated on him with me.
He doesn't have to know. Just
I think he's going to watch this.
He might listen to it back and forth. No, so for people who don't know, we've had Steven on the episode before.
Yes.
What was the last one was with all three of us, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, so I came in to talk about Kakarot.
You did? Okay, yeah.
And I've been on 2 episodes, and then one before that is when I was named the man in the middle.
That's right.
The guy in the middle.
I'm talking to the man in the middle. Oh my God, that needs to be a song. Can we get your face on cover art? That's our single. No, tell some people a little bit, for people who don't know, Steven is also a podcaster. Tell us a little bit about your podcasting endeavors.
Oh, my podcasting endeavors come from trying to be more productive at work. And when I say that, made a friend at work. We found out that he really likes the Friends TV show. I really like the Friends TV show. My wife really likes the Friends TV show. We would spend lots of time just rehashing all the episodes and talking about how good they were and then talking about what we would have done differently and how some stuff does not apply today anymore. And we jokingly decided to say, I jokingly said to him, well, we should do a podcast because that's what you do when you're over 25 and you're a guy.
No, apparently that's the plan.
Yeah, that's when you hit 25, all males have to pick a subclass, and it's podcaster or streamer or something else. And I've picked like 2 of those things. So we said we'd do it. So we do a Friends podcast. It's, if you like Friends, you'll enjoy it. If you don't like Friends, you'll enjoy it because we try to go off the rails purposely and get away from just regurgitating the episode and fanboying over it. We talk about
it is pretty good.
Some personal stories that relate to the show. So that's what I do from a podcasting standpoint. And I'm also doing the streaming thing. Slowly getting up there. And so,
you guys can find him, of course, if you want to watch him stream some games over at twitch.tv/Sanderspool. Just Sanderspool, right?
Just Sanderspool. Okay. For Twitch, yes.
And we'll make sure, if you are interested in listening to his podcast, which is an awesome Friends podcast, we'll have links to that in the show notes and in the video links if you're watching this on YouTube or on podcast services. There. Okay. Well, no. We're very happy to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you on. So, it's going to be interesting. So, I talked to Steven, and Steven, I bounced some ideas off of him. Mm-hmm. And one of the things we talked about was just getting some ideas and thoughts on the show, because you listen to the Rock Punch show.
Yes, I do.
From time to time. And so tonight we're testing a little different formula on how the show runs. some stuff got removed, some stuff got shifted around, but that was the whole...
Will got removed.
Will's gone. It's over. Steven's here full time. That's a shocker. No.
And on that terrible disappointment.
But you're not Will.
Those are big shoes to fill.
And so we've got a lot of tweets and stuff we're going to make to the show tonight. So hopefully you guys enjoy it. Let us know what you think about the tweets we make. Always give us feedback on that. Sniper Eye 2010 in chat says, hey, it would be an AR-15. Get it right. So you got to be careful. See, Will would have known that.
That's true.
He would have known that.
I need to talk about something I do know about.
What's that?
Friends.
We played everybody.
No.
We're changing into the friend. But
it's video games.
You know about video games a little bit.
I know about video games.
So. Let's talk about that for a little bit, guys, here. Guys, if you don't know, welcome to the Rocket Punch Show, your southern source for all things gaming, geek, and more. You can listen to this show every Tuesday on your podcast service of choice, or join us during the show over on twitch.tv/Rocket Punch Live each and every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time to be a part of the conversations. If you want to know more about Rocket Punch and the content we make, be sure to head over to rocketpunchco.com to check out all of our podcasts, streams, videos, and more. They're right there at your fingertips. If you would like to be a part of the Rocket Punch family, then make sure to head over and join our Discord channel to hang out with us and others once the mics are turned off. It is actually in, make sure I'm getting these commands right. I'm getting used to them now. We've put it in Twitch chat for our Twitch viewers, and we are going to put them in show notes for everybody listening via audio services there. Also, thanks everybody. If you're tuning in via Twitch, hello. Welcome, Twitch viewers. Glad to have you here. Be a part of the conversations. Also, if people want to help support us, there are many ways you can do that. You can like, share, and subscribe to our content on YouTube, Twitch, and podcast services, and social media. You can also make sure to follow us and subscribe to us on Twitch to be notified when we go live for Rocket Punch Live and other streams throughout the week. And to go even further beyond, you can go check out our Patreon page over at patreon.com/rocketpunch to find out how you can support our shows and get exclusive Rocket Punch content, including exclusive shows, early access to content, behind the scenes notes, and a whole lot more. Speaking of Patreon, as we like to do each and every episode and every piece of content that we do, we want to give a special shout out to all of our Patreon producers supporting us over on Patreon. So thank you, producers. Chuck O, Joci M, Sam S, Jeremy M, Stephen S, this guy right here, and Tyler H. Well, we appreciate your guys' continued support of Rocket Punch.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are.
Upcoming events and announcements. Events and notices that we've got coming up here. It was Console Wars Episode 2 will be live on all services. So podcast services and YouTube, the video version of that will be live this upcoming Wednesday for everyone. So if you're a Patreon subscriber supporting us at our I think our Silver Plus or higher tier, you can actually go over to Patreon right now and listen to the episode since you had early access to it. But everybody else, you'll get it Wednesday. A fun, nice little episode. If only we had recorded it one day later. If only it was one day. So we recorded it the day before that whole like Xbox Series X expose came out from Phil.
Oh, I haven't seen the expose.
You haven't?
No.
Really? I'm going to show that to you. There's a lot of interesting details in there.
I shouldn't admit that on a video gaming podcast, should I?
No, you can do that. That's fine.
Okay.
See, video gaming is cool. So just because you like video games doesn't mean you have to know or like about everything about video games. Maybe you're a Nintendo gamer. Yes. Maybe you're a PlayStation gamer. Yes. Maybe you're an Xbox gamer. Yes. Maybe you're a PC gamer. Yes. Maybe you're a mobile gamer. Yes. I mean, that counts, but... I do all of those. All of those things. But some people do it a little bit deeper than others. Yeah, so I know. It's still okay. But no, Console Wars Episode 2 will be live. But also, I'm very excited to talk about this. Our official first podcast for Dice, Decks, and Design, our board game podcast, will be live for Patreon subscribers via early access on Wednesday as well. So if you want to get a chance to listen to our board game podcast first, head over to Patreon and find out how you can do that. It will be available to everyone else next week. So Patreon people will get a week early access. I'm excited about that. That is not... Board games are not in my knowledge wheelhouse.
So would it be giving too much away to describe like how does that layout work? Do you review board games? Do you talk about design? Do you do a little bit of both?
We talk about Dice Decks and Design. We've partnered with Carla over at Weird Giraffe Games, and we have a lot of conversations about like game design, so board game design. We also have we pick a game that we like.
Yeah.
Like here's our game for the month that we'd recommend for people to play and why we do that. And then also because Carla's there, we talk a lot about like her experience playing board games and also being a board game publisher and like some of the adventures that she has to go through and like going to conventions, having to deal with people and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool. That's a very nice insight into not only just like learning about cool board games, but also about the processes and the design behind it also. So it's pretty awesome.
Interesting.
Pretty awesome. But be excited. Check that out. Oh, Sniper Eye has clearly said that Xbox is the winner. We'll find out on Console Wars.
The Console Wars is simply a proxy war between Intel, AMD, and NVIDIA. The PC is the master race, correct?
It wins all the time. Darth Turner in chat says, friendship with Will ended. Sanders is the new best friend. So
yes,
you've been integrated in. Mm-hmm. Welcome to the fold.
Forever.
Let's jump in, guys. Now we're going to jump into our news segment here. This is where we kind of talk about the latest news that has come out throughout the week. Number one, we'll flip over here because I'm sure I'm going to forget it. Basically, I've just summarized this as Coronavirus Watch 2020 because this week was. Have you been following like any or all of these cancellations at all?
So I don't know if I've followed like the gaming specific cancellations. I do follow like the coronavirus subreddit, and I try to like keep on tabs with like what's the new hot country to get infected and all that kind of good stuff. So
we're live in Antigua.
Yeah.
Guys. Woo!
It's I just want to know how close my doomsday clock is getting. So
well, if you are a gaming convention, the doomsday clock is pretty high.
Yeah.
Let me tell you why. A lot of big cancellations and stuff got hit this week with kind of the concerns around the coronavirus here. Some examples. I didn't pull articles for each of these. I'm just giving examples for you guys. But South by Southwest got canceled recently. Mm-hmm. The Emerald City Comic-Con got canceled. A lot of esports events, specifically the Apex Championship Series, that got canceled. Bungie, the company Bungie, is actually telling employees that they are allowed to work from home. Good. In order to stem the coronavirus outbreak there. And another big blow probably to the gaming community as well. TwitchCon Amsterdam also got canceled.
Good.
Because of coronavirus. Excellent.
Yes, these are all good things.
They are good things.
I know it may not seem like it to some people, but
it's a good question to ask because some people think that. I know there are two trains of thought. People that are like, "Hey, this is good, stemming the tide, don't spread anything."
Yeah.
And there are other people that are like, "Everything's fine, you're going to be okay, just wash your hands."
No.
It sounds like you are on the latter side of that.
You could try to do everything perfect, but obviously, it's spreading, and it's one of those things that there are a few groups of people who are trying to do something before it gets serious, and then eventually it's going to get serious, and then people are going to try and do this stuff anyway. Even if you want to talk about from a money standpoint, I would want to be. You don't want to cut something off as early as possible. You don't want to invest all this money in something and then have it go up in flames because it's a week before whatever event. Throw a dart at one of those events. And now it's like, well, no one's going to show up. We got to cancel it. There's, maybe your city that you were hosting it is now in a state of emergency or something like that, which I believe LA is in, and E3 has not been canceled.
That's another reason to talk about with these cancellations here, because it may not only just be because people are afraid you might get sick with all these people coming in. It could very well be that from a business standpoint, companies are looking at this and going, because of the fear alone, we might get less attendance, which could mean less money, which could mean that this convention's not worth it. So it might be cheaper to cancel it and take a little bit of a loss than the loss we would take if no one shows up to this event because of the threat. The threat alone is strong enough to stem the tide?
I think it is I think it's wise. I think if you're canceling the conventions, I don't think people need to mass like, it's hard to get anyone who's, people either wig out and there's mass panic, or people are like, remember H1N1 was a thing and then it went away, But it's like, no, this is like, worry about it. Like, have a respect for it. And I think that having a little bit of respect for the danger that's there, and just going, okay, maybe this year is not the year of conventions. Maybe we take a step back. We can have more conventions, right?
Well, one of the main reasons, of course, we're going to keep you guys updated on Coronavirus Watch each week here. So as new stuff gets canceled, we'll let you know. The big concern and the reason I wanted to talk about this, especially as number one, could this mean that E3 gets canceled?
It should.
Reading an article here from Rebecca Valentine over at GameIndustry.biz, ESA moves ahead with E3 2020 despite coronavirus concerns. Reading a little bit of it here. The Electronic Software Association plans to move forward with E3 plans despite growing concerns over the spread of the novel coronavirus. Quote, everyone is watching the situation very closely, said the ESA in a statement to Vice Games. We will continue to be vigilant as our first priority is the health, wellness, and safety of all our exhibitors and attendees. Given what we know at this time, we are moving ahead at full speed with E3 2020 planning. Exhibit and registration sales are on track for an exciting show in June. And then there's a lot more to the article here. And then there was an update to this article here. Quote, with the city of Los Angeles having declared a state of emergency today, the ESA has issued a new statement on the situation. Quote, the health and safety of our attendees, exhibitors, partners, and staff is our top priority. While the ESA continues to plan for a safe and successful E3 show, June 9th through 11th, 2020, we are monitoring and evaluating the situation daily. End quote. Does this mean E3 is canceled?
I think it should be.
You think it should be?
I think, but I'm concerned that they haven't done it already. I think there's somebody driving this train right into Coronaville.
Sniper Eye 2010 in chat says, if E3 gets canceled, I'm raging.
But why, Sniper Eye? But why? What has happened at E3 that you could not have consumed in some other media form or fashion?
No, a lot of chatter and conversation has gone on about this, and that's kind of the reason I wanted to talk about it with you, is that a lot of people are suggesting, because of, and we've talked about it in earlier episodes of the Rock Punch Show, but because of the precarious situation that E3 is in, I mean, a lot of people, Sony's pulled out, Xbox and EA are off-site.
Yeah.
Jeff Keighley will not be producing a lot of the content there. I talked about it to you this week. I Am 8-Bit, which is a popular gaming brand. Apparently, they were creative directors helping out with E3 2020, and they have pulled out. Announced this week. So, like,
who's showing up?
I mean, Ubisoft in Bethesda.
Yay!
But like, there are a lot of concerns that if E3 does get canceled because of coronavirus, even if there is another alternative plan, which we'll talk about here in a second, could this mean the end of E3 as we know it? Because a lot of people have suggested, well, if it gets canceled, what a lot of studios can do is prep online videos, which I'm sure there are people in the background that are being very quiet that are already starting to do this. Like, okay, we need to have a backup plan in case we can't do a conference show at the Microsoft Theater or whatever.
Right.
So if a lot of people are concerned that if E3 gets canceled and everything decides to go online only and just streamed, that people, like the companies will see how much money is saved if we just do a video presentation and they still get the same type of response and attendance or more. And then come 2021, when I assume that a lot of this concern has died down, people are like, well, we don't need to do E3 anymore. We just go and we just do it online. We had success with it last year.
You do it online. Yeah. The Microsoft one is a Netflix exclusive. The PlayStation one is a Hulu exclusive. You know,
I love it.
Nintendo will have their own.
Yeah,
they won't team up with anybody. And then what's left? Stadia? That could be like an Amazon Prime exclusive, I guess. I don't know. Apple TV. Yeah, you just have all your streaming services.
It'd be a Roku exclusive.
I mean,
no. What are your thoughts on it?
I've never watched E3 live. I've always watched all the stuff after the fact, and I don't see how that would be any different if everyone just pre-prepped everything and sent it out in the same format. I mean, how old is E3? 2 decades, right? 3?
Jeff Keighley has said he's been there for 25. He's been at every E3, and it's been 25 years.
So how much has changed since 25 years ago? To
where
lot.
Before it wasn't even streamed online.
Yeah, I think people are still trying to keep something alive that, doesn't make sense anymore. We've grown out of it. Maybe we need to come up with the next new idea. And I think that somebody's afraid. Somebody somewhere that really wants this E3 thing to happen again. This little indie convention or whatever.
It started in May of 1995, so this is going to be its 25 year.
So I think there are people who know that and are afraid that if they do a full-fledged cancel, people are really going to see that they don't need to do it anymore, and that could be like the last twist of the knife.
And that's the big concern, is that a lot of people are going to realize, in 2020 with internet streaming, we can go, the buffer from consumer to company is thinner than ever. Mm-hmm. Like, we can just go directly to them. We don't have to pay millions of dollars to jump on the E3 bandwagon to have a press conference and stuff like that, when we could take that money and maybe put it towards something else. Sniper Eye 2010 in chat says, as a GameStop assistant store leader, E3 is where we the news for the coming year. You try dealing with phone calls left and right about when the new console becomes available and telling them wait to hear from E3. If we don't get word, I'm going to live through hell. So that's another good point there too. Like, a lot of people use E3 to glean and get information, like, especially talking from GameStop, but also from like other companies too. Like, usually around E3 is when you see like release dates for games. Mm-hmm. Which in turn, that means that pre-orders are going to go live, so that way they're going to open up at GameStop and Walmart and Target so people can go pre-order them.
Yeah.
And if that doesn't happen, from a business standpoint, like, companies are looking at those numbers to help determine, like, how much should we make?
No one's going to want it to be a mystery when consoles come out. Like, people still want to sell those and make money. Someone's going to come up with a better idea of how to, get all this information out, and they might call it a new thing, or they might be like, get a Netflix subscription and go watch the Microsoft keynote, and then you'll know when the next Xbox is coming out. And that might have to be the answer, but until then, it might just be an I don't know. But I mean, here's the thing: like, even if you tell somebody that wait till E3 happens, how many of those same people are going to actually watch it live? They're gonna watch all that content like the day after. Like, how many times have you gotten to watch a keynote live? I know we've probably watched a couple keynotes live, but it's like they could just call it something else. There could be a new name. It's like, it's time. It is that time of year when all the game stuff is gonna come out.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
So I think there's a solution to replacing those things that E3, I guess, someone's going to fill that gap. I have no doubt in my mind. And I don't think that, what I'm worried is somebody's going to be so worried about this, they're going to like drive home, we need to make E3 happen. This is the most important year ever because none of the other conventions happen and we can show that we can do it right. And then maybe, a janitor has coronavirus and now everybody's got coronavirus. And then now Phil Spencer has coronavirus. and guess what? What happens when you lose Phil Spencer? Microsoft. That is Microsoft, right? Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, what happens? It's bad. Wait, they pulled out, haven't they?
Well, they're not on. They're off-site.
So Bethesda, who's their guy?
Todd Howard.
So what happens if you lose Todd Howard? Maybe we should have E3.
We'll take the risk. We'll take it. No, we'll find out here soon enough, because, I mean, I was talking to some people as well this past week. If E3 does get canceled, I believe they have to do it sooner than later because for money reasons. Like, they can't wait until the last minute because it's going to piss a lot of people off that spent millions of dollars putting it in there and then pulled back out.
I see you, Jack Wolfhard. That's why I suggested if Bethesda stays and no one else stays, and
Jack Wolfhard in chat says we need to lose Todd Howard anyway. Woo, harsh, super harsh bird. But no, we'll find out. As we said, guys, we'll keep you updated on any new coronavirus news affecting the gaming industry each
You know
week.
what E3 should stand for now? End it, end it, end it. Yeah. Headline. Right
So people
there.
probably have already done that, or already talked about that. Number 2.
Way to just steal the wind from my wings, Cam.
That's what I do here. Will not tell you that? That's what I do all the time. Number 2 here on the news, guys. The Last of Us. You heard of this game? You haven't played it, which is a shame. We'll talk about that off mic.
Isn't that still like a Kickstarter game?
Sure. Well, it's
to be
not going to
coming
be a
out.
game anymore because it's coming to HBO. I'm reading this from Boris Kitt and Patrick Shanley over at, surprisingly enough, thehollywoodreporter.com. The Last of Us series is in the works at HBO from Chernobyl creator Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann. The pair will write and executive produce the adaptation of the Sony PlayStation video game. Craig Mazin, the creator of the acclaimed limited series Chernobyl, is reteaming with HBO to adapt the hit video game The Last of Us. In a rare development in the world of video game adaptations, the writer and creative director of the game, Neil Druckmann, is also involved and will work with Mazin to pen and executive produce what is intended to be a series. Carolyn Strauss will also executive produce, along with Evan Wells, president of Naughty Dog, the Santa Monica-based developer of the game. The project is a co-production with Sony Pictures Television in association with PlayStation Productions. It will be the first television series from PlayStation Productions. A lot more to that article. What do you think? What are your thoughts? As a person, you've not played the game at all.
I've not played the game.
You've not played the game.
No.
What are your thoughts on this? News popped up this week.
I think I'm hoping we are entering a new, how am I going to say this? So we've had, like, the Resident Evil movies.
We have.
Those
were a thing.
We've even had a Doom movie, unfortunately. But I think that my theory is that this little show came out called The Witcher on Netflix. And it did really good.
Yeah, it did.
And I think that some people are realizing that there are some pretty amazing stories in the video game sphere of entertainment. And so I think there are a lot more people taking the idea of whether it be, I actually like the idea of more video games being adapted to a TV show versus trying to cram everything into a movie. But I think people are taking it more seriously, and I think things like this, The Last of Us, I think we'll hear more than just this. I think we'll find out before the end of 2020. There will be at least 2 or 3 more.
I'll agree with you that I like video game adaptations more as a show than movies, because I feel like, especially even, okay, take an example. Take Uncharted. Take an Uncharted game. Your single player campaign is probably like 10 to 15 hours. Mm-hmm. That's still a lot of nuance and story that's put in those games that is really hard to do crammed into a 2-hour flick on a movie, as opposed to if you have a television series, 50 minutes per episode, you get a lot of time here. Even if you only get like 8 episodes for the first season, that's 8 hours as opposed to 2. You can do a lot more stuff. You have a lot more flexibility with that than just doing a movie. So
they have a massive amount of content that they can comb through.
Jack Wolfhard brings up a good point. Also, the Castlevania's anime is also a good video adaptation on Netflix. I finished watching season 3. Beautiful.
Good. Because I remember people begged for like a way back in the day. People were begging for like a Fallout movie, which would probably be terrible. But a Fallout series, if you base it on the Fallout 3 storyline of the kid whose dad is this mysterious guy who's gone off into the wasteland, and now you're trying to track him down, that has potential, I think, right?
Yeah.
So I think, if now that we have people like Netflix and Amazon Prime and Hulu all trying to do their own, and Facebook, but God, please hope they don't do one of these, throwing these monies at these shows, I do think we're going to get to see a lot of great video game I guess, am I using that in the right? Video game adaptations into TV shows? That's what I'm looking for? Yeah.
You're right.
So, trying to think off the top of my head what I would like to see. Lots.
Jack Wolfhard in chat says, "Did you ever see the fan-made Fallout New Vegas show?" Have not seen that. Didn't even know anything about that. So
I have not.
When
you say fan-made, is it like red versus blue, or did people like dress up and
Nuka Break?
Nuka Break.
Check it out after the show.
I'll have to check it out. New Vegas is an absolute gem. That's probably, to be honest, this is probably the best Fallout game that's come out.
Jack Wolfhard, put it in our Discord chat because it's probably not going to let you do it here in Twitch here. Sniper Eye in chat says, "Video game adaptations should be unique stories. If they tell the exact same story as a game, you know what's coming. That's what I loved about the Resident Evil movies." Good point. Okay, good point.
Well, I think you could argue the same thing about a book, right? You make a movie or a TV show from a book and you know exactly what's coming. Now, making some subtle changes that do make it work better for the show, I think is good. But
well, that's the point of an adaptation. You can't do direct carbon copy. Okay,
exactly.
boom.
Most things are based on something, whether it be a book series or I mean, I can't think of a movie that was just like.
I mean, The Witcher is an adaptation on the books. So, like Jaskier.
Yeah.
The coin, that's not his name. His name in the book is Dandelion.
Right, right. And if what Sniper is saying, it doesn't need to be exactly the same. I agree. It does not need to be like. I think it would be bad to make everything exactly the same because there are some things that are going to work in a game that aren't going to work in a TV show. Like, any type of story beat that was given through a side quest in a game might not really work. They may have to figure out another way to deliver character background versus, I find all these notes all over the place and now I know everything about Beyond the Wall and Anthem. I don't know. So Sniper Eyes, I would say you're right. It definitely needs to not be identical, but I don't think we should slam any of them if they do follow like the core story.
Well, I think a lot of the reasons shows and I think adaptations follow the story is I think that as an adaptation it does draw your fans in.
Mm-hmm.
That hey, we might know the story but it's going to be great to see it interactive like with actors and stuff as opposed to a video game. I also think about for people that haven't played the game.
Yes.
Getting a chance to recreate, say not one for one but like retelling that story again may help get them invested. Like, oh man, did you like that story? Dude, you need to go play the game. There are some differences here, but the game is really cool. But and thirdly on this, I also think that it can depend on the game.
Yes.
I think that The Last of Us is a very linear story. I think you can have some leeway because of some of the gaps they do in the story, where you can maybe tell side stories and other stuff in between the seasons. But think of your example like Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
If you do Fallout, because that is the state of that game, it's very open world. You can tell like, hey, you have the main overarching story.
Yeah.
But then the writers have their leeway to say
do whatever they want.
How do we get to the end?
Exactly.
I think that's pretty cool.
And the other thing I'd be afraid of is, if anyone goes too far from the main story, it can end badly too. And it's not a video game, but my biggest point is the movie Aragon, which was an absolute atrocity, and it ruined my childhood because that book series is amazing, and they decided to just trash they didn't trash the main story, in fairness, but they trashed a lot. They redid a bunch of important parts in it, and it really messed up. And man, Eldest would have been a great movie because that was an amazing book of that series. But that's what I would be worried about, is if people... As long as there's people on the team making the movie who have played the game and understand the story and care about it, it'll be okay. Even if they make changes, they'll be good changes.
The fact that creative director Neil Druckmann is he's helping write the script and everything.
Yes,
I'm not concerned at all.
So that's
also
good.
because Sony has their hand in the pie. So this is in conjunction with Sony Pictures and PlayStation Productions. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be some push and pull to help determine if the show goes off without hitch.
If you had to pick 3 games to be made into a TV show right now that aren't already done,
or in the works,
how many are in the works?
Halo, Last of Us.
Okay, so you can't use those two.
And those would have been two that I would have picked. I would love to see a Horizon Zero Dawn.
That's a good one.
I would love to see
that. Would be a
Horizon
really
Zero
good one.
Dawn. It
could be a good one.
A majority of your production budget would go to the robot
special
dinosaurs
effects,
and special effects. Yes, hear me out though. I think that would be really good. Horizon Zero Dawn. I'm trying to pick from each genre. So that was my PlayStation one. A Nintendo one, I think that would be pretty cool. You know what's weird? This might sound weird, but it could actually work. Fire Emblem.
No, that would work.
A Fire Emblem series. I think that would give the writers and whatnot a lot of open air to kind of write their own story. Mm-hmm. So Fire Emblem, and then a third one would be, I can't choose Halo. Gears of War. You know, I could just say Gears of War just because I want Dave Bautista to be Marcus Phoenix. He's wanted to do it forever. It's time, Xbox. It's time, Coalition. Make it happen. He's ready. He's prepared to step up and be Marcus Phoenix. Just saying. Just tossing it out there.
Those are good picks. I think the Horizon Zero Dawn's a good one.
I would love him.
That would be awesome.
Sniper Eye 2010 in chat says, for me, a good adaptation is a story that stays in the universe of the game, but tells a unique story you don't get from the game, but also ties into the game, and vice versa. Like the show Defiance in the game they did for it. Oh, I remember that show. That was a cool show. I never actually played the game, but I watched the show.
Okay.
A little short-lived. There. That was news item number 2. Number 3, this is actually not too... this won't take long. So... a Sony executive leaves, and then they replace it with another very powerful Sony executive. This one, so if people don't know, I'm reading a little bit here from Jade Raymond over at Google's blog. They opened up a new entertainment studio in Playa Vista for their Stadia projects, and they tapped, what is her name? Industry veteran Shannon Studstill. So, if you don't know who Shannon Studstill is, she was one of the executive producers on God of War. The new
Which
God
would
of
also
War.
be a good TV show.
That would be really good. So, they pulled her from Sony Santa Monica to be a part of the Sony the Stadia studio in Playa Vista. And she's leading that whole studio. So, at first you're thinking like, oh God, they pulled out one of like the big names that helped on God of War 2018. What the hell we're going to do? Well, Sony in return, like within the same day, named Yumi Yang, who apparently is a 19-year PlayStation veteran, to overtake Sony Santa Monica Studios. She was also on the God of War team, helping for 2018, and she's actually been involved with God of War during her 19-year-old tenure. So, she's going to be a part of the team. She's leading the charge over there. Are you excited? Did you play God of War?
I've not played God of War.
You play it? That's another one.
Because I got into Sony after all the really good, not after, they're still making good games, but I got my first PlayStation for Spider-Man, and I played Spider-Man.
I remember that. Okay.
And so now let's be honest, it's really hard these days to go through a backlog. It's near impossible. Unless all you do is play video games, you can't go through the backlog. So it's like, do I decide to actually play the new game I'm excited for, or do I go back and try to catch up on God of War or The Last of Us or Bloodborne or Dark Souls or all that stuff. So it's a very first world problem, I know, but it
is a problem nonetheless.
It is a problem.
Yes. I agree.
When I first read that article, I thought it said, what's her name, Yumi Yang? I thought it said 19-year-old PlayStation veteran, and I was like, who cares? Like everybody's a 19-year-old PlayStation veteran.
She is. She's been with PlayStation for 19 years.
Yes, I know, but I just imagine it's like, wow, it must be like some like prodigy like that just rolled up and was like,
"Give me the studio." Herman Hulse, what's up?
No. I had to do a double take. I was like, what am I doing with my life?
So some interesting news over in the Sony camps there, and I'm sure we'll keep you guys more informed in that, and I'm sure I'll dive deeper into that on our next episode of Console Wars, episode 3, when that comes out in March, or in April, because we'll record it at the end of the month. Number 4, I bring up, this should be pretty brief, but I want to bring this up here. I have the PlayStation Store's top downloads for February 2020.
They're kind of surprising.
That is why I want to bring them up. I'm just going to go through the top 10 most downloaded PS4 games here, even though they list 20. So number 10 was The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. Number 9, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Number 8, Ark Survival Evolved. Number 7, Minecraft. Number 6, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Siege. Number 5, Dreams. Number 4, Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Number 3, NBA 2K20. Number 2, Grand Theft Auto 5. And number 1, Tom Clancy's The Division 2. The biggest one that jumps out to me on that one is Dreams.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, exactly. Bingo! Ding, ding, ding. So, Dreams...
Is it free?
No, it's not free.
Wow, okay.
It's like $40, I think. $30 or $40, something like that.
Really?
So, Dreams has been in development for years by Studio Media Molecule. Dreams was like this... The best way I could describe it is like it's basically you can make your own game. So you have these tool sets and stuff.
I have to do all the work?
You design your own game. Now they have some levels that the studio has created, and also when you make your game, you can put it up in the Dreams marketplace, but it's available on the marketplace for you to go download the game and play it, whatever somebody else created. There have been some incredible and amazing cool experiences on there, but it's very interesting because this game wasn't really advertised that hard, and a lot of people were concerned, like, who are they marketing this type of game to, and if it would actually do well. So the fact that after its first month out, it hit number 5.
Hit number 5. Can I see that?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I could open it on my phone, but I'm lazy.
But I was very shocked that Dreams ended up on number 5. Good for them. I think there's going to be a steep drop-off come March. But I think that was really, really cool to see them pop up on 5th. Some other shocking ones, but not really that shocking. The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt at 10.
That makes sense. Everyone's watched the show, and even my wife has been like, I kind of want to play the game now. And she does not play games.
Yes!
So, and I've told her, there's a mode that's just, you're in it for the story, and you basically immortal and can just run through it.
And that'll be the only game she plays because it will take 200 hours to beat.
Ark Survival Evolved is very shocking to me.
Really? At number 8?
The game's been around forever. Did they come out with some swanky new update? Like I played a lot of Ark Survival Evolved, and I don't even know if it's actually released yet. It was in pre-release forever, and that's when I played it. Minecraft. Doesn't everyone own Minecraft by now? At some point.
I don't.
Call of Duty.
Doesn't everyone own Grand Theft Auto 5 at number 2?
Yeah, I should shut up, shouldn't I? Division 2 makes sense because of the
Warlords of New York.
The Warlords of New York. What's a darn shame is Kakarot at number 20.
Well, that's a drop off because remember the release month was January, so they were like in the top 3 or 4 in January. And
yes,
then they dropped off.
It makes sense for a month-old game to be beat by a how old's Grand Theft Auto 5?
It doesn't matter. It has the words
Grand
Theft Auto in the title.
Grand Theft Auto Kakarot would be amazing.
Yeah, a fun fact, you may not realize this. Grand Theft Auto 5 has been in the NPD like top 10 to 20 games since its release.
Yeah.
It came out in 2013.
Yeah.
No, wait. Yes, 2013. So you think about that. I want you to settle on that. 7 years. And it's still in the top 10. Each month. Each month. Okay.
Oh, wow.
We've got a few more stories here left. Number 5 here, Roller Champions. So I don't know if you've heard this game. If you haven't, if you're listening, we actually have a video of me playing the alpha over on our YouTube page on youtube.com/RocketPunchGo.
You've played this game.
Played the early alpha of this game. This is basically like 3-on-3 roller derby with the ball.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. I would love to interact and play with this game with like multiple people in here, and I think it's going to go free to play. But they just announced it is coming to PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Switch, and mobile. And they talked more about how they're going to have a closed beta sometime in the next couple of weeks. But no, I wanted to bring that to people's attention because Roller Champions was a pretty cool game, pretty fun. I would definitely encourage you guys to check out that video over on our YouTube page to learn more about it. I'm sure I'll post it up in blast this week so you guys can follow that. The 6th and final story on our docket here is from Riot Games. So you probably never heard about any of. There was this hero shooter project that they were working on, at Riot Games. It was called Project A. You hear about this at all?
I haven't heard about it, but I saw actual gameplay of the game before you even sent me the show notes on Reddit. Okay. Yeah. So I glanced at it and I was like, oh, look, it's Overwatch, and then moved on.
So they've officially revealed that the name of the game will be Valorant, and it's a free-to-play first-person shooter. Mm-hmm. I'm reading a little bit here from Roland Bishop, awesome name, at comicbooks.com. Riot Games today officially pulled back the veil on Project A, its mysterious first-person tactical shooter, revealing that its official title is Valorant. It's a free-to-play video game, and it's set to launch summer 2020 for the PC. Given that details have been pretty light up until this point, it's a fairly significant amount of information to drop all at once, but Riot also announced a bunch of other odds and ends about the upcoming video game as well. More specifically, Valorant is a 5-on-5 tactical first-person shooter, according to Riot, which sees the teams fight in a best-of-24 series of gunfights, attackers versus defenders. Wow, that's a lot of matches. Though it didn't share any additional specifics on the characters folks will play as, Riot does say that it will feature a diverse cast of hyper-natural, battle-ready agents from real-world cultures and locations, each bringing a set of unique abilities that complement gunplay through tactical information and strategic support, changing the way players approach a situation, end quote. Man, that was a whole mouthful. So, pretty cool. I just want to be a little frank. Do we need another hero shooter out there? We have Overwatch. I mean, I thought that was enough.
I thought everyone was playing Fallout 76. Why even try? Why even try to come out with another game? I saw it and I was like, okay, it's another flavor of Overwatch to me. And I know I read in the article that Riot doesn't want people to think that it's another flavor of Overwatch, but let's
call it spade right? Let's be honest.
It's another flavor of Overwatch, and didn't somebody else try to go up against Overwatch and not do so great?
Oh man, that was totally epic. You know the details about that? And what?
I can't even remember the name of the game.
Oh god, it was by Gearbox.
Right.
Oh boy.
That speaks to it. You don't even know the name. I can't wait in a couple months when we're still calling it Project A because we've forgotten
Battleborn.
That was
the game, and it was Blizzard was twisting the knife because the day that Battleborn released, Blizzard did an open beta for Overwatch because the game hadn't come out yet, and it destroyed Battleborn. It was horrible. Oh man, it was a disgusting bloodbath. The Arcane Gate chat says it's another flavor of Overwatch. Yeah, that's what I like, and I don't know what's. Do we need honestly? We can have them there, but there are a lot of hero shooters in a lot of different genres. Overwatch, I think, is the big dog.
Right.
In a certain way, games like Apex Legends.
Oh yeah, I would put them exactly in the same category.
It has
anything where it's you got a unique set of characters, all have a different kind of power, and you're on a team, and the end goal is to make the other person die. I mean, it's all pretty similar to me. Just pick your flavor that you like.
Yeah, I think Lawbreakers. We saw how that did. Thanks, Arcane.
Never even heard about it.
You didn't.
No.
We're gonna talk during the break about that one. Oh boy. That's an interesting story, but
Hey, Rainbow Tom
Six
Clancy.
Siege.
Yeah,
you're right.
That's a good point
because they're different operators. Good call, Jack Wolfhart. I don't.
Which is, and I read in the article they said, well, this one's gonna play on the fact that it has powers and really good gunplay, and I was like, if you want really good gunplay, there's games already there. Modern Warfare, you could play, Siege, you could play. What's that game? Destiny 2? That one? Yeah. I mean, so I think I'm concerned if the way they're spinning that game is, but this one's different because we're really focused on gunplay, and it's well, there's a lot of great options if you want gunplay. Division 2. I mean, so good luck, Riot. Good luck. That's all I could say.
I just I think it'll help the game that it's free to play because it always. Yeah. When you lower the barrier of entry to free, people are at least going to give it a shot.
Yeah, they're going to mess it up because even the people that try it, they're going to realize there's some jacked up loot box system.
Well, that's the other thing I have a problem with. Riot Games is very good and they know how the free-to-game market works. I mean, look at League of Legends. Regardless of how you feel about MOBAs, The fact is that that is one of the largest games in the world. My other problem is that, especially with League of Legends, their community is not that great, to put it mildly. And I'm curious how they're going to manage the community for Valorant.
That's how they should spin this game, though. Like, would you like to play Overwatch, but like with the people that play League of Legends?
Boy,
wouldn't you like to play with someone just screaming at you as how terrible?
To not even try this game. As soon as the first thing that came out of your mouth, play Overwatch, but with League of Legends people, I'm done. I'm out. That's it. But like having it free to play is going to help, because Overwatch is, I think, like $30 or $40. But I kid you not, putting money on the table whenever this game comes out, I bet you Blizzard does a free weekend for Overwatch.
Oh yeah, I think
100%.
I don't even think they'd be hit by just Blizzard. I think that everybody who has something similar in the genre would do something, and it'll just be like in the wind, like Lawbreakers, apparently, because I never heard of that.
Don't worry about that. No, Arcane Gate says no. But no, it's something cool, something to look forward to. So if you like free-to-play shooters and you like Riot Games and stuff, definitely be on the lookout for that. Summer 2020 for only PC. That's what it looked like. It said in the article there. So that's it. That's the news. Man. That's all we've got here.
How different were those two last games? You got a roller derby game that, while it doesn't speak to me, is at least like, no one's done that before. And then,
if you're asking me to choose between Roller Champions and Valorant,
I'm choosing.
Go check out Roller
Champions.
It's from Ubisoft. They do pretty good work, and it's a very small game, and I think it'll have the different like hero characters and whatnot. But from what little I played, it was really, really awesome. Like again, go check out our YouTube channel. We have the video posted up there. I'll post it this week so you guys can check it out. But it's a really cool video. Definitely worth checking out and getting a feel for the game there in alpha. So now, as I said at the beginning of the show, this is normally where we do our topic of the show. But I did say that we're going to make some tweaks to the show to try and make it streamline a little bit more and give you guys some more, make it a little bit easier to consume for you guys. So what we're actually going to do is we do not have a topic of the show tonight. We talked about all that stuff in the news. So we're going to take a quick break here, and then we're going to jump into our table talk session where Steven and I are going to get real deep and dirty in some games. We're going to talk about Final Fantasy VII Remake Demo. Mm-hmm. If you thought that wasn't coming in this episode, you were a fool. We're going to talk about Apex Legends. We're going to talk about Ghost of Tsushima and the new trailer that dropped there. Doom Eternal.
Yes.
And the Heavy Metal Choir.
Yes.
Yes, that is exactly what I said. So stay tuned, guys. If you're listening via audio, it'll just be a quick cut. We'll be right back. But if you're watching via video, we're going to take a small break. So don't go anywhere. We will be right back in just a second. And we're back, guys. Welcome back to episode 5 of the Rock Punch Show. We're jumping into table talk now. We got our bathroom breaks out. We got some water, some Wawa, as you eloquently put it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So let's table talk. So for people who don't know, you're new to the show, table talk's where we kind of just talk about games. It's us and you guys here. If you guys have comments and whatnot or questions about some of the games we're talking about, or you guys have games you want to talk about as well, jump into the conversation here. But what game we have? I split it up here. I guess trying new notes here. So I have games, gameplay stuff, and then other stuff. What do you want to start with first? I'm gonna let you. You're the guest. I'm gonna let you pick.
Let's play.
Pick any of the 4.
Any of the 4?
Yep. Oh.
There are 3 things. 5. I see what you're trying to do. You invite me on here to embarrass me.
Put you on the spot. You're a podcaster. You're supposed to be prepared for anything.
I am. What do I want to talk about first?
What do you want to talk about? So?
Let's talk about getting good at Apex.
Getting good at Apex. Okay. So apparently we fell into the Apex pit of despair.
I don't play Apex on my onesies. Like, I'm not yearning to play Apex, but I am yearning to play with like you and some of the other folks that we have streaming down here. And I will say it's quite fun if you're in with people that that you can talk to and joke around with and have a good time with, and don't take the game take the game seriously enough to try to win, but not too seriously, especially if I'm playing, because you're not going to win.
That's not true.
Okay, fair. We did win.
We did win. Thank you very much. No, we've played a bunch along with friends of the show and fellow streamers here at Twitch Huntsville. J-Mo, JW Moses, Dance Extremes, Nick Uncut, a lot of different people.
Yeah.
We ended up playing. What was the one we won? It was you and myself.
It was me, you, and J-Mo.
Was it J-Mo?
Yeah, J-Mo's got me my only win.
That's right.
Because I played with J-Mo today, and I told him, if we get a win, I'll double my wins. And he's like, so your only win's been with me? I was like, yeah. And he's like, you're putting a lot of pressure on me. I'm like, yeah, I am.
I'm trying to see, I have that video downloaded. I'm trying to do some cuts, try and make a compilation video. Knock on wood, I'm hoping that I get to that tonight before I go to sleep.
J-Mo said apparently I said some things that he found were humorous, and so he's gonna...
Oh, they're already up. Go to his YouTube page. They're already up there. But no, Apex has been a whole lot of fun. We won. How did we win? That was... What one was that with you, me, and J-Mo?
That was we had hung out near where the circle was closing in, and we ended up in that weird spot where there's like a really big barrier next to a building.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and so
the train. It was not the train yard; it's the refinery.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And I think we started engaging. I went down first, obviously, and then someone chased you into the other building, and instead of just being aggressive, decided to just like let you
saw that?
use a Phoenix kit. And so then you kept that fight going long enough for J-Mo to run cleanup on the rest of everybody. So it was like...
it ended up being... It was us and another team. The ring had shrunken, and part of the ring was inside of like one of the refinery tubes. And so I remember I turn a corner, and I see the three guys coming up. I start shooting. You're on the mic yelling, "Where are they at? Where are they at?" And you guys come around, and actually watching my clip of it, and then watching your clip, or not your clip, J-Mo's clip of it. J-Mo ends up taking two of the people out.
Right.
Like they start shooting you, and I think they take you down.
Yeah.
J-Mo jumps on top and takes them both out.
Yeah.
And then the one dude is over there. I think helps take you out. Then he tries to come over to me. Very much, I'm in the refinery in the area that I can stand in, and I'm using a Phoenix kit. And he pops in, and he's like, boom. And then he jumps out. I was like, charging, like, the hell are you doing? And like, you could end this now.
And you can see when someone's doing that, right?
Yes.
I mean, so he could, I'll just go wipe him out now. Like, I don't.
And he has a peacekeeper. He could have just come there. It would have been over. But he lets me use the Phoenix kit. I get my health and armor back. I go back out there. And what really helped is that because I lived, I basically took his shield down, and I popped his health really low.
Yeah.
He took me out because he had the Peacekeeper, but I'm putting my shield up to try and help J-Mo.
Right.
And right at the end, J-Mo takes like 2 shots, boom, boom, and just takes him out. And we were so hyped. Your first win.
My first win. First and only win.
That was pretty. How'd that feel to you at that moment?
I was pretty stoked. I mean, you can hear... I think that's almost all you can hear in any clip of it is I'm screaming in the background because I won.
Sniper Eye 2010 in chat says it was J-Mo because I clipped the part where J-Mo escaped in an airstrike and Steven was just like, "Run, J-Mo!"
I remember that. Run, J-Mo! It was very much like Forrest outrunning his airstrike in that movie. Like, go, Forrest! Yes. A lot of it was me dead yelling at you two to go do great things.
I remember there was the one time in one of the matches where we jumped down. We were on the boat, the party boat.
Yeah.
And you went down like twice to like get you up. And I'm getting you up, and
yes,
people going around.
Went down again.
That was pretty fun. Funny enough, like I've been trying to play. I played solo a little bit, trying just to improve my game. I did end up getting one win with a group of randos. Actually, was it 2? No, it was 1 win.
Yeah.
So with the group, we're in the train yard. It came down to myself and one of the teammates were dead, and we were the only 2 on comms. Mm-hmm. The other dude had a vault key. So we could open up the vault, and we were like, "Oh, go get the vault! Go get the vault! It's right down the hall." The guy opts not to do that, and he's waiting. All of a sudden, this Pathfinder shows up and starts shooting our last teammate. Mm-hmm. Then all of a sudden, he just stops. Just like, it's like, do. Just stands there.
Really?
And our teammate comes up and goes, boom, boom, boom. We're the champion. And we won. And I have no idea if it's
why he stopped shooting.
Why he stopped shooting. I don't think it was lag because he was still there. Maybe he had a controller disconnected. I don't know. But we won.
He could have been like me because one of the games we played, my game didn't crash. My window just minimized.
I remember that.
Like I was just sitting there, and we were like, it wasn't just like we're sitting around collecting stuff. We're in the middle of a fight, and all of a sudden my window is like, and I'm like, what's going on? So maybe something like that. It could have been, you know.
Sniper Eye says, the beautiful thing about Apex Legends is the communication system in the game. I've played with guys with no headsets who still communicated so well. I agree.
Yeah, the ping system
is very, very nice.
Very useful. I'm starting to get used to the game. I'm liking it more and more as I'm learning the controls and everything. I think the only thing I have left to figure out is try to figure out which guns I actually like the best. I haven't got enough opportunities to actually kill somebody to figure out, like...
my clear favorites, apparently, are now the Havoc rifle.
Okay.
And my secondary one can go either way. The Hemlock is cool. I also like the Peacekeeper. So I'll take... I don't do anything long range, so I'll have the Havoc for mid-range, and then the Peacekeeper when I need to get close.
I think I probably have had most of my success with a Wingman. But... Wingman or an alternator, actually. But
I like alternators. They're pretty cool.
But I haven't got a chance to try everything out, so definitely be popping in more frequently when I see people going, hey, I'm about to jump in. So if you're about to jump in, let me know. Sanderspool.
I might play some more tonight before I go to bed.
Yeah, that's the... Do I be responsible and
that's
sleep? See, if you're like me, even if you want to be responsible, you're going to go to bed and you're going to lay in bed and you're going to stare at the ceiling for 2 hours and then fall asleep. And I say, why not go play a game in those 2 hours instead?
Wear yourself out. Wear your brain down.
Yep.
Pretty cool. Okay. Barutu in chat, sneaking in here. What is this? What?
Somebody's with their head on fire.
Yeah, it's like I don't know what that is, but it's cool.
It's like somebody ate like a really hot pepper.
What are we talking about next? You're leading this conversation. You're the guest.
You're darn right. I'm your fearless leader too.
What's the next thing we're going to talk about?
I want to see the Ghost of Tsushima. Sushimi.
Is that exactly the title of this game?
The Ghost of Tsushima trailer.
Okay, the Ghost of Tsushima trailer. We're going to talk about this. So I've seen it. He has not. So we're actually going to get some live reactions here. And then if you're watching via Twitch, you're going to be able to hear and watch it as well. Make sure I'm doing this right. Boop, I am doing this right here. So we're going to watch, for people who don't know, Ghost of Tsushima is a PS4 exclusive coming out. This is actually the announcement of the release date. Pretty cool. Almost Tenchu, if you remember Tenchu back in the early PlayStation game days. It's a pretty cool game. This is the story trailer talking about that, so we're going to watch it. And I get to hear your live reactions. And if we need to pause at any time, you let me know.
Okay.
We will definitely pause.
Jin.
I'm going to lower our mic.
When we fight, we face our enemy head on. And when we take their life, we look them in the eye with courage and respect. This is what makes us samurai.
Already covered in blood. I'm assuming some training.
That's the kid.
Rude to your correct. I have to be exclusive.
There must be thousands of them.
It is exclusive. Piece of PlayStation.
We will face death
Insomniac, who's now owned by
and defend our home.
The game looks really good. I don't know if they had any gameplay in there. There's this ninja game called Kenshin.
We do what we must, Lord Sakai. That is why you and I are both survivors.
I am samurai.
No, you are more than that. You are the ghost. Convince your people to join me, and I will give them peace.
He will never serve you. I've never seen a samurai fight like that. It was nothing.
You're more than a samurai. He is a vengeful spirit, back from the grave to slaughter the Mongols.
If you continue down this path, you will be no better than the Mongols. I trained you to fight with honor.
Honor died on the beach. The Khan deserves to suffer.
Sacrifice everything for my home.
Is this based on any real historical events or anything like that?
Tsushima is real.
Because when he
June
said
26, 2020 release date.
Because then he said, so it sounds like they're fighting Mongols.
I think it's loosely based, not directly based on anything.
Okay. That's interesting.
What'd you think? What do you think of the trailer?
My head was summarizing it as like, ooh, so this is like a different, I don't want to say different skin. How did you, what was the words you used to describe the game? Eastern,
Western, feudal Japan style.
Feudal Japan Witcher. Without monsters.
Okay. I don't know if it'll be that deep. But.
No, but it seemed like, there's obviously, you got your hero who's got this
Thank you. I have to bump the audio back up because I took it down.
This hero's got this reputation, I guess, the ghost, much like the White Wolf, is what I'm seeing, and doesn't necessarily look like he's working with a huge team. He's kind of wandering around, but he's got somebody he's trying to kill. It looks like so. It's not exactly like The Witcher, but what I'm getting is it's a game that's going to be hopefully have a really good story.
I mean, that was the story trailer, so yeah, I think the story's going to be pretty strong. It looks exciting.
And then the gameplay looked pretty cool though, like him with the looked like a grappling hook type deal. So you got that third dimension. So I like.
Rutu in chat says this shit makes me want to go watch Yojimbo. Oh, that's good call on that one. And it says it's probably more like Onimusha, which Onimusha is also cool.
Okay, never played that.
It's a Capcom game. Think you play Resident Evil, like the old Resident Evil games, where it's like it's hard to just. So,
and I'm just comparing it to like the games I have played. So that's probably Witcher's the best I got for a comparison.
With For Honor realism, yeah, it looks really good. I would love to see. I'd hope maybe before the game launches that we'll get like a gameplay demo.
Yeah,
and actually be able to see it in action. June 26th.
June 26th.
So the lineup for Sony exclusive games. April is Final Fantasy VII Remake.
I'm gonna still
May
be playing
is The Last of Us 2, and June is Ghost of Tsushima.
Interesting.
So a lot of big heavy hitters this summer.
Okay.
Onimusha is like Devil May Cry. I don't think
I've not played that either.
Man. I thought you played games, man. What the hell?
I did play games, but I've played a bunch of games that probably aren't what you'd run around telling everyone about. Like I played the King Kong game, and
that game was cool. That was popular.
Yeah, Duke Nukem, the good version, and the bad versions.
I didn't play the bad one.
The bad one was very disappointing.
So cool. Ghost of Tsushima trailer. Where are we going to next?
Let me see here. Let's talk about Final Fantasy VII. I won't make you wait anymore.
I'm not going to make the people wait anymore. Okay, so this is basically going to be me rambling on for like the next 5 to 10 minutes.
And I believe this is going to be the definitive podcast where Rocket Punch decides between whether Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy IX is the best version.
Yeah, that's true. And luckily for us, because some people are absent, we can definitively decide that Final Fantasy VII is the superior game.
I believe it is.
Aspects. So
I believe that is. I don't want to say it for you, but I would assume this is the Rocket Punch, seal of approval. Yeah. Final Fantasy VII is the de facto superior version.
It is. It is genre defining in every sense of the fashion. Boom, there you go. That's it.
Go run and tell it.
So
I've not played it either.
For people who don't know, Square Enix.
Someone call Will.
The Final Fantasy VII Remake demo. So Square Enix actually released a demo for the game. Mm-hmm. It basically plays through Chapter 1 of the game, which is for people who don't. If you know Final Fantasy VII, if you've played it, the first part is basically them blowing up a reactor.
Okay. And
so the game kind of takes you through that first part there. We're ready to get out of here. No, but no, it's day. I thought it does a really great job of getting you in tune to how the combat's going to play. Mm-hmm. I remember going in, and it has all these tutorials showing you how to play. By the time I was fighting the boss, mm-hmm. which is a sentinel boss, I had a pretty good feel for everything. Like I was opening up menus, like cast a potion here. I'm going to cast fire, attack. Let me dodge out here. It was very, very cool. It got me excited for the game, and then but it also, I don't want to say concerned, but also just like a little bit hopeful that I'm hoping that as you progress through, there's going to be more and more systems and stuff. This was the demo. It only allowed, I couldn't mess with any materia. I only could use the magic that was given to me. Mm-hmm. So Cloud had fire magic, and then Barrett, who's the other person who pops in your team, mm-hmm. had the thunder magic that we needed. So it didn't let me kind of adjust equipment or anything like that. It just walks you through, shows you how combat works. And speaking on combat, the combat was really fun. So old Final Fantasy VII, this was a turn-based RPG. Mm-hmm. You take a turn, they take a turn. So this one, it is more action-based. And what you can do is while, you hit square to actually do slashes and stuff, you can hit circle to dodge mm-hmm. and roll. And then you hit X. When you hit X, it actually brings up a contextual menu, and then the world kind of slows down a little bit. So from that menu, you can choose and pick like, ooh, okay, I want to do special abilities, like a thrust move. I want to do and magic.
Is it anything like Dragon Age
Inquisition? Sorta, kind.
That's the only game I played that's had a similar, where it's like, okay, you're fighting, but you can pause it and try to plan out like a
sorta, kind of
an attack.
If you play using normal mode, you'll pause this a lot more, so you could plan out your abilities and attacks and stuff like this. Mm-hmm. In that mode, what's also cool, some things that I found cool. So each character, so you can switch between party members mm-hmm. when you get them in your party, and the triangle button for each character does their own little special move. So Cloud, he'll switch to Punisher mode.
Okay.
So he'll be slower, and he can't dodge, but he can do extra damage. So his swings will hit harder, and you'll do more damage. So for some foes, maybe if they're weakened or staggered, mm-hmm. you can use this to kind of finish them off quickly. Barrett will do what's called an overcharge. So Barrett has his right hand is a machine gun.
Nice.
And he shoots at range. If you do his triangle move, his overcharge will actually do like a heavy hitting, like doom, 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 like cannon fire. Mm-hmm. But then he has to like charge it back up. You can hit triangle to kind of recharge it and recock it back up, but it takes a few seconds to get back. But it was very interesting, the dynamic. So Cloud he has a sword, but if you have enemies that are flying up in the air, you might want to switch to Barrett, start focusing on damage and stuff like that. And kind of how the battle system works is that as you do your normal attacks, and it builds up this ATB charges. Okay. And when you get a charge, that's when you can do your special abilities, like your thrust or your magic, or use items and stuff like that. Okay. And so it's kind of managing around like attack. Okay, I can almost think of it in a similar sense to Doom, where 2016 Doom, you had to like, if you want to succeed, you have to get into the battle and actually shoot people and do the glory kills so you can get health. In this remake demo, it showcased the fact that, hey, if I want to use my ATB and use potions and use magic, I need to start attacking so I can charge it up faster, so then I can start using those items.
You can't wait it out. You got to get into the game.
Exactly. And so that was really, really cool. I liked some of the story touches they did. I mean, if you don't know, I'm a huge Final Fantasy VII fan. The voice acting was great. The presentation was gorgeous. Some of the story beats and whatnot that they hit. There were some parts of the story that I had never seen before. And like, it was stuff that wasn't really in the original game, but they kind of expanded on a lot.
Right.
And it was very interesting to see that. It kind of makes me think like how the story is going to turn at the end of this game. But the demo, it's like 30 minutes to an hour. You'll have it beat. One thing I liked is that the bosses now, so in the original game, the Scorpion boss, it was just a straight up like, it's a machine, so it's weak to thunder. Use thunder magic, and then when it pulls up its tail laser, don't attack it.
Okay.
In this one, it actually had different phases. So you could, your phase 1 was your normal phase. Then it switches over to phase 2, and it puts up a field generator, and you have to destroy the generator to start doing damage to him again.
Okay.
Then in phase 3, he starts doing his tail laser, and debris will fall from the ground, and you'll have to get behind the debris in order to not get hit by the tail laser. And then in phase 4, it's basically like a burn where he starts healing himself, and you have to like attack before you die, because he's also spamming attacks all around him, and you have to like burn him down before he heals himself too much and takes you down. It's pretty cool, pretty awesome. I get a video of the remake demo and post it on YouTube. I think there are plenty of videos on YouTube about this already, so definitely go to YouTube and check it out if you want to see the demo. Or, if you want to check it out, download the demo. It's 8 to 10 gigs.
That's not that bad.
And it's an hour of your time. But if you're interested, if you want to see if this game is worth something you want to play, it's definitely worth checking out the demo. I think definitely. I could talk.
This may be the first. So, I guess I can't say it's going to be the first Final Fantasy game. Technically, the first Final Fantasy game I've ever played was Final Fantasy 15, but I got it for PC, and my game kept crashing. Yeah. And I had bought 2 games at the time, I think I had bought Final Fantasy and like Far Cry, and I was like, well, I'll just come back to it later, and I'll play the other game I bought because it was like a Steam sale, and I never came back to it. So if I play Final Fantasy VII, which I think I will, it's probably gonna be my first real experience.
Rubutu in chat says it's basically single player Final Fantasy 14. Sort of, kind of. I actually would point it more akin. It's like playing Final Fantasy 15. Some of the good parts of that battle system are kind of brought over here in the action part. Yeah. I think they do a good job with like kind of slowing down time and how the active time battle charge system works. Yes. It's pretty cool.
I promise I tried that. I promise I tried it.
But no, if you're, like I said, if you're interested in at least curious about the game, definitely download the demo. It's pretty cool. It gives you a very small taste.
Yeah.
But it was really cool. I played the demo like 3 times, and going back in and starting to figure out like how some of the enemies are weak to certain things. And one thing I learned on my 3rd playthrough was that you can actually map. So they have like a quick menu command. So if you can use X to always bring your menu up and navigate through, but if you hold L1, you can bring up a quick menu. So I can do like quick attacks, like I always need a potion or do a special attack. You can pull those up. It's pretty awesome.
Sounds promising.
Definitely check it out. It's really cool. I literally could talk about this demo ad nauseum. I will save all of my pent-up frustration about this game on April 10th when the full game is released.
Pent-up frustration?
Like good kind of frustration.
Good kind of frustration? Like you can't wait for it?
Cannot wait.
When is it supposed to come out?
April 10th.
Are they going to delay it again?
No. Because did it go gold? A part of me wants to say that I read a report this week that it either is gold or it's going gold very soon. Do you know the term going gold?
I'm going to guess that means they're officially saying, we've snapped the chalk line, it's done, we're going to...
The game is complete.
Yeah.
They're still working on bugs.
But the game itself.
But the game itself is feature complete. It is playable through and through. And that's what going gold. If you ever hear the term "going gold" in the industry, that's what it means. And the Sniper Eye says, "You better knock on wood." You're right. And Varutu says, "We waited 10 years for this, and they are splitting the game into 3 parts." Everything I've heard, they are splitting the game into 3 parts, but they are expanding a lot of the world. They've, take whatever they want to mean this. They've said that this game first part is the same size as a full Final Fantasy game. We will see, but I will definitely say that. So Chapter 1, blowing up the Mako reactor, it's 30 minutes to an hour, depending on how fast you want to burn through it. I played the original game on my Nintendo Switch, same part. Took me 10 minutes. 15 minutes at most.
Wow, there you go.
So
they probably were like, we could try to do 7 and then do 9, but no one's going to want to play 9 because 7 is the best. So we'll just make 7 even bigger. So,
no one cares about 9.
Man.
That game is trash. Awful. Zidane? Who cares about him? Princess Garnet? Get out of here. Steiner? Boo. Cujo? Get out. You know none of these names that I'm talking about.
I don't know. I was just like, yeah, those are words.
So let's talk about something that you do know about. This is going to be our final Table Talk top. But I wanted to bring it up because you were going to be on the show. Talked about this. Did you know that Doom Eternal, the soundtrack's going to be pretty awesome.
We know that.
But even more so is that it's going to have a heavy metal choir. I don't think I've ever even heard that term before.
It's something we didn't know we needed until we had it. And now I think more things need to have
heavy metal choirs?
Heavy metal choirs, yeah.
So, number one, if you were a fan of Doom 2016, go listen to the soundtrack. It's awesome. But the same composer, Mick Gordon, has decided to implement a heavy metal choir for Doom Eternal. They did a behind-the-scenes video for this. We're going to watch it right now for everyone tuning in via Twitch or on video services here. Let me pull it up here. So, heavy metal choir. You're trying to figure out what is this? Let's listen and find out. I might actually have to turn that down.
My name's Mick Gordon. I am here in beautiful Austin, Texas, to record a heavy metal choir for Doom Eternal.
1, 2, check.
It's a continuation of Doom 16, but this really needs its own unique approach.
We'd already discussed some chants that harkens back to Slayer's origins. The idea of taking a heavy metal choir and having them do the chant for the Slayer was amazing.
The big question is, right, how do you put together a heavy metal choir? And the best way that we figured out how to do it would be to put out an open call and invite heavy metal singers to apply to join this awesome ensemble of badasses.
I'm the vocalist of The Anchor.
The frontman for 2 different bands. I'm in a band called The World I Knew, trap metal.
I'm the vocalist for Wild Speaker.
I play in a death metal band called Aborted. I play bass for Static X, Ministry.
This is like a really classical franchise, especially within the rock and metal community. Like everybody just looks up to this game.
Part of the game is this like ancient chant that's in this other language. We want the whole game to feel like a heavy metal album experience. Every time I get a drop, I hit play and I'm like, oh, this is freaking amazing.
The group that we ended up putting together is really diverse. There's so many different types of metal singers there.
To see the choir be half female, half male, it's been really awesome.
He's working with 20 other people, not just one person.
It's a very different way of recording. To hear all those guttural voices all around you, it's really fucking cool.
With all the anger and energy, it feels right.
I think as humans, we always relate to voice. So it sort of touches us on a deeper level.
There's just different styles, and it's cool to see all of it just come together and make this like really unique, amazing sound.
So there's a guy that does Mongolian metal, and I was just impressed at what he can do.
Everything works together. Sound effects, music, gameplay. And all these things come together not as separate elements, but as one cohesive unit.
I've always wondered what that would be like to hear a choir singing that way.
We're going to do our own thing. We're going to do it like nobody else is doing it.
I had to be part of this, man. You kidding me? I grew up with Doom, and I got to play a little bit on the Atari Jaguar. I bought every edition, one of my favorite games of all time, and I love the soundtrack.
To be able to contribute to something that might get people into metal.
To me, it's a big honor.
I'm so excited to hear the end product.
Being part of the Doom soundtrack feels pretty legendary.
They're just as much a part of the process as any of us.
Thank you so much.
They're the ones that have kept Doom going for 25 years.
Ready for that. You didn't see this yet, and I showed this to you.
Mm-hmm.
So how amped up and more excited does this make you for?
Super excited because I discovered Doom 2016 because it was on a sale on Steam, and I was like, okay, low risk, I'm gonna pick it up. And that game is a total immerse yourself in the game. Everything about it is important, and it is like the whole package. The music is, in my opinion, just as important as the game itself. And so the fact that they are not just like the fact that, I mean, they could have been fine just doing a new score, but the fact that they're trying to do new things, like new techniques in making the music, excites me too, because it's going to be like, okay, what am I going to I'm not just worried about what execution am I going to get to do. I'm like, now I'm worried about, what kind of cool stuff am I going to hear when I play, because that was the music and the gameplay combined so well to just kind of completely immerse yourself. And I would say, like, there's been a lot of amazing games, obviously, I've played since Doom 2016. But if you want to talk about a game I've played where I've got legit goosebumps, Doom is the last game that ever did that for me. There's not been a game that has given me legit goosebumps since Doom. And I think that it's, I mean, I got goosebumps watching that trailer, and it's because it's not just, it's like all about the experience, right? Like, you know, there are plenty of, a huge fan of Kakarot. Roll credit on Kakarot. I think they did an amazing job. A lot of the moments I wanted to have goosebumps, but my opinion, and I know that that's their original score and the whole deal with like the American music. Yeah. I know all that stuff. That aside, it wasn't the same. Like the whole package wasn't there, and so that's why like I didn't give it as like, that's not a perfect 10 for me as far as Kakarot goes. Yeah, still an amazing game. I loved it, but that's what's like, man, you cannot ignore that. And I think that Doom's like a whole experience. It's audio, visual, gameplay.
Shaping up to be that, right?
Huh?
It's shaping up to be that, right?
Oh man, I'm so excited. And you want to talk about, so the other thing about, like, the only thing that you could is like, Doom is about getting into the fight as fast as possible. So if you've seen the gameplay, they now have the grappling hook that you can drop on the bottom of the double barrel shotgun, right? So it's like, man, if running's not good enough, I'm gonna pull myself to you. Get over here, mom. So Doom Eternal might be one of the games I'm most excited about this year. And what's the other thing I love about Doom was it was like an amazing game I could pick up, I could play, I could beat, and I could move on with my life. Like, I didn't have to like continue worrying about seasons.
No loot boxes or seasons.
Yeah, it's like everybody wants a game as a service, and it's like I still want, as somebody who can't get through my backlog and only has a few times I can play games, it's nice to be able to finish a game, get to the end, and see the whole thing play out.
Sniper Eye in chat says Doom 2016 and in general has some of the most amazing combat music in the gaming industry because of how heavy the music gets when the combat gets heavy.
It ramps you up, and it just like Man, I wish you could play.
You're not wrong.
Like somebody needs to play that game who's never played it before, and they need to hook up like a heart monitor to it, just so that you could see the effect it has. And there could I would be willing to bet there's moments after you've played it a couple times, like the music will start to change, and that heart rate's gonna start going well before you see anything, because you know what's about to happen. Oh,
someone's coming. Someone's coming. Here we go. Let's go.
Oh, I'm so stoked. Doom Eternal is gonna be great.
Don't have to wait long. So 2 weeks, not even that, less than 2 weeks from now.
Oh
you
man,
will have it in your hand.
And that's gonna be one where it's like playing it on the whole sound system. I don't care. It's gonna be.
You don't want to put the headphones on and just.
No, I need the bass. Like when I play Doom, I crank it super hard. There's no other way to do it.
I get it. So that's it. Episode 5 of the Rocket Punch Show. We're done with table talk here. While for our viewers here, we're gonna do a quick little raid here. But for everyone listening who wants to learn more, hang out with you a little bit more, Steven, plug yourself, throw some social out there. Where can they go find you and your content?
I appreciate it. I'm on Twitter, which at Sanderspool CC. That's Charlie at the end of that, because Sanderspool was taken by an actual pool, by the way. I'm pretty sure. Like it's a pool, like the body of water. Actually, I think that might be Instagram. I know that there is a Sanderspool, but also on Instagram, I am Sanderspool CC. But yeah. And then on Twitch, I'm just Sanderspool, twitch.tv/Sanderspool. That's pretty much it for reaching out to me. Hit me up, play some Apex Legends, have a good time. Maybe we'll play some Doom in 2 weeks.
Oh, we will play some Doom. I believe we will. So, guys, we're going to raid I'm Senpai here on the Twitch Alabama team here. But other than that, everyone who's listening and watching, thank you so much for tuning in to Rocket Punch Show Episode 5. Steven, thank you so much for joining us. Popping us in for this
Thank you for letting me attempt to fill the massive boots of Sir Will. But I hope I did okay.
You did all right. You did fine. All right. I was concerned when you started talking about not playing Final Fantasy games, and then like not playing Onimusha.
I really didn't like how we really highlighted a lot of games I hadn't played.
But you stepped it back up once we got to Doom. Like we ended with Doom, and I think we ended on a very nice.
I promise I've played video games. I've been playing video games since I was a wee child. Like my dad came back from his deployment in Korea and had bought enough computer parts to buy 4 or 5 computers in our kitchen when we were living in government housing because you know when your parents are in the military, and we're literally having little LAN parties with me, my dad, my mom, and my sister playing Duke Nukem of all games. Is what we're playing. I bet how many people have played Duke Nukem with their mom?
How many times did you hit the space bar?
All the time.
How many?
All the time.
Oh,
it was the one time I was allowed to curse because I was allowed to repeat the "damn, I'm looking good" every time you looked into the mirror. And ever since then, I was, Nintendo games, and I could only get Nintendos for a while, so it was a lot of some obscure Nintendo games.
Sniper Eye says Duke Nukem played it with your mom.
Yes, he did.
That was good. That's very good.
And Duke Nukem's actually the only video game I've ever seen my mom play and complete. She actually was good at the game and beat the game.
Wow, that's a weird game.
Yeah, she's never played another game in her life. So it was. I have very fond memories, which is why I was so crushed when the most recent one came out. It's really sad.
But that's it for us here at Rocket Punch Show, guys. Episode 5. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember, rocketpunchgo.com is where you want to go to check out all of our content. As we said before, we tweaked the show format a little bit, so definitely reach out to us on social media. I'm at Rocket Punch Go and all that other good stuff to let us know how you feel and what you think about the new format, and if you like it, don't like it there. Until then, guys, talk to you next time.